Welcome to episode 7.
We made it. We did it.
We're Taryn's Angels.
Yes.
You're new here.
Yeah, we're a little discombobulated today.
I feel like we just got back from spring break.
I don't
This
know.
is what the kids feel like.
I'm telling you,
It's been a spring break for us.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. I don't know. It's like, is life even real today? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's fine. So sorry sorry in advance, or welcome to the show. We were trying to remember last time. We're pretty confident that we finished chapter 18.
Yes, I think so. I completely agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll just dive into 19 because I feel like for the past 3 episodes we've been like, next time we're going to talk about Fire Night. And then we never
Everything
make it.
has been leading up to.
And yeah, because definitely 2 episodes ago, because I just watched it, I said, next time we're definitely getting to Fire Night. Can't wait to talk about it. And we don't get anywhere close to it. So today
we're definitely
getting to Fire Night.
Fire Night.
Can we just remind how does chapter 18 end? Chapter 18 ends with Feyre hanging out with Tamlin and Lucien, right? In the whatever, the cute meadow or whatever it's like. And that's where we got to see them all kind of, this is going to sound so weird, but like behave like siblings.
Yeah.
And we see a lighter side of everyone, which is very nice. Mm-hmm. And then it leads into Lucien commending Feyre for choosing to save the cereal, and she's just like, it just seemed like the right thing to do, or anyone else to do it. And he was like, no ma'am, no one else would have done it.
It's like the start to their friendship.
Yeah.
Their friendship. Yeah. Oh yeah, and he gives her weapon back, her knife, which in my mind I just picture a butter knife.
Like some weird kitchen knife. Yeah.
Or like a cheese knife. Like, I don't know why. Like,
Because didn't she steal the cheese knife in the beginning of the
right?
Yeah, from the table.
From the table, yeah.
the table.
So I don't. Maybe it's just because I'm not rich. So you guys can just tell me. But in my mind, cheese knives are like kind of fat and.
Yeah,
they're not
like,
sharp.
They're not even sharp. Yeah, they're like a paddle.
It's like, so it's almost like a
spreader.
Yeah. Like, what are you gonna do with it? But he gives it back to her, which is a nice sign of goodwill. But he does say, "Here's your knife. Don't put it
in my bag."
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yikes!
Which alludes to like maybe he has been stabbed in the back before.
Absolutely, especially with like his own siblings.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think it's a good sign that he's sort of opening a window to a potential friendship.
And I guess he's not an overly trusting person. I think maybe that's just Lucien. Again, we've said this before, like, we only know Lucien through other people's point of view, so we never really know his true intentions, but
yeah.
He's definitely not lighthearted.
Yeah.
No.
And he's I think he is all over the place, homeboy.
He has a lot of trauma.
Yeah, he's been through a lot.
I know, He's
been through a lot and hasn't gotten over like anything.
Yeah, like for real. Yeah. He fits right in with
like, or he's been put through a lot but hasn't gotten through anything.
He hasn't healed.
Truly gotten through anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wonder if he hasn't even processed.
Yeah, I don't think they know how, because they're just supposed to always be strong and kind of have it together, and especially because he's kind of like Tamlin's second. It's like, when would he find the time to just sort of go through that? Yeah.
They definitely don't have therapists. Yes.
I don't think Alice is going to sit down and make him tea and
don't even get me started on
listen
Alice.
to his problems. And it also, I think, shows a sign of weakness in them. Mm-hmm. To not only because they're males, but because they're in a powerful position to show that kind of part of themselves. Yeah.
I have a question for you, because you're reading Crescent City now, which is also in the Mass verse. So, and unfortunately, because we're bad friends, that there's ultimately a crossover with book series, right? So
did you know that?
I haven't gotten to it yet then.
Okay, but did we tell you that?
Yes.
Shit, we did.
Yeah,
okay,
we've done spoiled that. It's really fun. But since you know
is it in book 2?
No.
No.
Is it book 3?
Okay, pause. like literally like the last sentence of book 2.
Oh, okay, so I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
I have, let me just see now, because now it's going to be in the back of my mind.
But because, so while you're looking that up, because you know that they exist in the same time construct.
Uh-huh.
And then you see like Crescent City definitely has therapy. Like,
they have all kinds of shit, which is the interesting part.
Yeah. And so you have a world that is still fantastical or what, you know, but the price is that they're not as powerful in the magic. Yeah. And then you have Prithian, who has all the magic,
like
but
all
they're still
magic.
like,
it's not compromised.
Yeah. Like, do you,
well, it's just like even just the technological aspect is not there at all.
No, they're very almost like behind the times, but I think it's because they never lost their magic. So they never had to evolve, you know, out. They never had to find a way to evolve. I'm wondering, however, how did they keep the humans from not evolving to that like how did they keep the humans from not having that technological revolution? Because they all exist. Okay, I'm not going to spoil that, but I'm wondering if the magic that like breathes in Prithian, if that is somehow still siphoning into the human realm, and so that's what's keeping them, or if they're purposely not letting the humans evolve, like have some kind of you know, technological revolution. Because I don't even think do they drive cars in Prithian? No, right? There's no electricity at all, right?
They're like walking, it's like boats and stuff.
No, there is electricity.
There is electricity?
Yeah, there is electricity.
Okay.
They're not driving.
I don't know if it's like the source's magic is what powers, or I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm sure it has something to do with magic.
It has to.
Or, you know what I mean?
Not that the humans would know, though, right? That it's magically sourced.
I don't know.
Well, they know that magic exists, so.
But do they know that they have access to it?
I don't
like
know.
that.
That's an interesting, that's a good point. I don't know.
But do you think now you would rather live with, okay, we're not going to talk about shadow daddies because, you know, we're just talking about in the context of just all the magic, but no technology, or would you want like the Crescent City mismatch, like mix of, you know, magic and therapy on tap?
It's interesting because it would be like life now with magic. It's like blending our life now with Prithian. Prithian. Am I even saying that right?
Yeah.
And then you'd get Crescent City.
Yeah.
So that's really how I view Crescent City, because Crescent City is not entirely
same. I agree. That's how I view it.
Our normal, right? Because we're talking like there's lions, there's angels, there's coyotes. I mean, there's just everything is walking around, and there's just all these different groups. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which one I would want.
I think
they would have social media.
I would want Crescent City because, again, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like not to have those things.
Yeah.
So for me, I want what I currently have, personally.
Yeah. I would want Crescent City also. Yeah. And I would take the little bit of magic that I could get.
And it's really dependent on, you know, where you are, right? Like what group you're in for the most part, right? Like you can't be a bloodhound if you're not a wolf. Basically, like, you know, like what Danica, what was Danica, was that a bloodhound that she was? What was the thing? Like she could scent your like ancestry kind of thing. So like you can't have that if you're not a wolf. You know what I mean? Like, Hunt's not going to have that. He's an angel. So he has other things. You know, you see what I mean? Like he's not a bloodhound. Fuck. Is he a bloodhound?
No.
What the
No.
fuck?
I was thinking something else. Sorry. Yeah. Continue. Sorry.
I do know that he's a conduit.
Continue.
And I know that
it's fine.
I know that Bryce is a conduit too. I've already gone past that part. Okay. So yeah, I don't know which one I'd want to be in.
Do you see parts of Prithian in Crescent City? Like, do you see some overlying things? Yeah. I didn't really either, honestly. I don't
think so.
Yeah.
Should I at this point?
No, I didn't either. I've read
I'm on chapter 42
several times
of book 2. So for the Audible, I have almost 10 hours left, and I'm on chapter 42. There's 78 chapters, and I still have almost 10 hours left to read.
It's a lot left, but not a lot. Honestly, 10 hours is not
It'll go by fast.
Yeah. So
Because I've already read more than that. I'm already halfway
yeah,
through the book. More than halfway.
I cannot wait to reread it.
I know.
It has a dramatized version.
Done it. Like, how many times have you reread?
Well, I've read the first one 4 times.
Oh my god!
Wow. It has a dramatized for each book. But dramatized are 2
Yes.
things for each one, which drives me nuts, and I'm not paying the credits. I want to hear it first, and then I'll decide if I want to dramatize.
That's fair.
Even like re-listening to chapter 19 and 20 for ACOTAR coming here today, I'm just like, I did the regular book one. Because I'm like, I need to actually hear shit. I'm like, I can't have all the fancy shit going on. I'm like, I need to hear and like refresh my memory before I get there. So I want to hear it through, and then I'll decide.
I tried to listen to the dramatized to refresh myself, and I was like,
you can't because you
pause. Let me go back to the regular.
Yeah, you just won't get very many details because there's so much going on, and I like it. But when I can sit down and actually listen to it,
this. Dear family, is why we never have made it to Fire Night. Sorry, our bad. Okay.
I was thinking that in my head, Alyssa. When are we gonna segue back?
Yeah, let's just
we should
go
have
back
named our
in.
podcast The Drifters.
Oh, for real though, you're not wrong. Okay, so chapter.
It's not our fault though, because the worlds they intertwine.
They do, and she's literally made a giant, massive universe. Okay, so so chapter 19 is, I feel like, where we really get to see what Farah's life could be like. Mm-hmm. So this is where, because she wakes up and in that Tamlin has her paint supplies and weeks go by. And chapter 19 is weeks of just her painting and just kind of being happy and being carefree. And then she says something like, I haven't thought of my family. He made me forget about my family. And she gets mad about it, but then drifts off again. And you just, so I think that chapter 19 is a gift for her because then she really, later when she has to make a choice, she knows what she's giving up.
She's also this is an opportunity for her to explore her sense of self and be able to channel and learn what she likes and what she doesn't like, essentially. And so it's an opportunity for her to kind of put herself first.
Yeah, especially without feeling like she's sacrificing anybody else to do that. Because she doesn't have her family to be worried about. Mm-hmm. Now that she knows,
she has no worries.
But she feels guilty.
But she feels guilty. And then she's kind of starting to think of the spring court of home, and just. Or I think she's starting to kind of feel responsible for it because, she feels guilty. And then she's constantly thinking about the she in the background and, what can I do to help? But she doesn't quite voice that, but that she wants to be helpful. And this is where, when I was re-listening to this, I thought of, that's such a little sibling thing. And, back forever ago when I said, maybe Farah's not the youngest sibling. And then as I'm listening to this, I'm like, she's totally the youngest sibling. Because that's so them. They always want to, I feel like,
be in the middle of something.
They want to make sure that people don't forget them and that they're helpful and so that you never have a reason to get rid of them. Yeah. And so let me be here, let me be around you, and let me show you how valuable I am. I'm like, oh yeah, she's totally little sister. And the thing that we talked about this off camera, but when she's painting, her paintings almost come alive. And I noticed that when she first saw the gallery, was it last chapter? She sees the gallery. He had cleaned up the gallery and everything. So she's seeing all the paintings. She says something like they feel alive, like they almost feel alive, and she can feel some of them. She can feel something coming off of the pages, and she can almost tell what the person was feeling when they painted it, which I think is, I don't know, I'm not a painter, but I think that probably a lot of people who are art enthusiasts say that. So, but you know, we're talking about a magical world. So maybe she's actually feeling like, I don't know, she's probably like a baby empath or something.
Are we all just empaths?
just a little bit, yeah. But I do love that we really kind of get to see like the girl that is Feyre, and then you find out she doesn't really like it. She doesn't hate it, but she's just kind of like, I think she's starting to get bored.
Bored, yeah. She's bored.
Do you think it's because she's just so used to contributing and just being useful?
Yeah.
It's just like
it's probably a mix of things
for her.
But she also knows like how much more she's capable of, and so I think it's
to help. Essentially.
Yeah, and it's more than thinking she has to. Is that she knows she can. You know, and so we've talked a lot about people thinking that she's just not worthy of much, like she's just a stupid girl, and you know, so there is just always this little her constantly feeling like she needs to prove herself. But it's more than even that. I think she just knows that she's capable of helping, and so she wants to help. She has that like yearning, right?
Yeah.
To like be helpful.
Because that's what she knows.
That's what she knows.
She knows that she can flourish in that. You know what I mean? She feels in control.
Yeah. And she's good at it.
She's good at it. And she has such a innate sense of self. Like we say constantly about her. And she, at her core, she is not, even though that's all she ever knew, but she still is the one who decided to go hunt for her family.
Yeah,
I'm not convinced that somebody else wouldn't have done that eventually, you know? And I think that somebody would have eventually, but she was just like, I'm just going to do it because that's just who she is. And so she can only be bored for so long before her actual sense of self is like, okay, like we've been on vacation, but let's
it's
do
also
something
like a
else.
balancing act and like understanding what that means. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, she's just not being challenged.
She's not, and she needs that.
Yeah,
she needs that for sure. So this chapter 19 it's fun. This is a fun chapter because this is also the one where she's like walking around I can't remember. We don't know what she's doing, but she's like, she has a satchel or whatever and everything. And she snares Tamlin. I was trying to find it, and I was laughing because she says, you know, a loud roar. She said a loud roar like echoes through the forest, and you can't, like, unmistakable. And he's upside down. And she walks up to him. She's like, "That's what you get for trying to be sneaky."
I love that.
Yeah, and she talks about how she can't wait, like she wants to like caress his hair. You know, she's actually for real describing his features now. She describes as golden hair that she wants to basically pet him. And he's laughing. Tamlin is laughing upside down. And I just feel like he probably feels like he's finally part of the joke, or part of the fun too. And I don't know, anytime it's an upside down person in a snare, I always just think of the cereal. But the thing that happens too is she has to keep reminding herself that she has to stay with him.
Do you think that has to do with what the cereal said?
Yes, yeah, that's what it, like she'll drift off and say something like, I got bored or I did something, and then it'll say like, stay with the High Lord, you will be safe. And so she's like, so I did. So it's almost like her mind, like we just said, like she needs to do something is like, okay, let's go do something, like almost kind of put herself in danger. and then she has a cereal in her mind being like,
well, it's like having the little, the angel and the devil on her shoulder. And
stay here.
Yeah.
And so she's like, okay, the cereal, which is so funny to me that she just trusts him so much.
Maybe it instilled something in her, like something magical. It was almost like we talk a lot about the vow that she made with her mom, and was there magic tied to it? And maybe for her. Wait, what? Never mind. I don't want to get off task. I was going to mention a movie.
Did you lose your microphone?
So if you hear any weird noises coming from JM, It was
Where did my magnet go?
That's what I thought you were
crotches.
just messing with when I saw. It's okay, we can edit this out. I just need you guys to know that I
you're not.
never edit
You're
this
not
out.
like, it is what it
so
is,
funny. Yeah.
Oh,
These
my
words crack
goodness.
me up. This is what makes it amazing.
Oh, damn. I just broke my nail.
And you broke how?
It was already cracked.
Oh no.
Oh my.
It was already cracked. Whatever. I have to get
have
them
to get
done
mine
tomorrow.
I need to get mine done too, so let's all go together.
Dang, that's crazy. This looks so sad. Whatever. Okay, moving on. I digress.
Oh, okay. So what were we fucking talking about?
Maybe there was magic tied
'cause
to
of the
the
vow.
cereal set.
Yeah.
Like maybe it just kind of like imprinted something in her mind. It's because, and I say that because the way she's reminding herself is almost like it's not her. It's like that, you said, like, it's like that, like a little thing that's just constantly, almost like your subconscious is like, stay with the High Lord. You know what I mean? And then it's like she does. It's almost like it's for that second, it's a trance.
Yeah, it's almost like a.
It's like a trance that she's in. It's like, I really want to do this. Stay with the High Lord. Da, da, da.
Yeah.
So I did. Almost like I couldn't do something else even if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Just like even if I wanted to leave my family, I couldn't because I told my mom I wouldn't.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe down the line there'll be something there. Like we keep saying about her mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it does seem very
never know.
transy every time that part is spoken.
It does. Yeah. Every time it is very. Yeah, because she says it even because that's what I noticed on the Audible.
Yeah.
When
The
she
voice-
says
her
it,
voice changes.
Her voice changes,
Yeah.
and it's very kind of like wispy.
Yeah.
Stay with the High.
Which is kind of the Suriel's voice, but at the same time,
yeah.
it's like it just.
But the
seems
Suriel did
transy.
not say it like that.
It didn't say it like
Yeah.
that.
So and then she's in the she makes her way to the rose garden, and she's picked a rose and she mentions that it has thorns on it, and I was like, oh, I don't think I've ever actually picked up that cute little, it's actually a thorn, a court of thorns and
Oh, the
roses.
symbolism behind it?
Which
Oh, it's
Yeah.
the spring court. Oh.
of thorns and roses.
cute.
So, but she's kind
So
of
we're Beauty and the Beast.
she's being cautious because she doesn't want to get pricked. She's being cautious and she's holding it. And Tamlin comes and she's immediately like, I hope he's not mad that I picked the rose. But then they're kind of pulled that, like that magnetism towards each other. And she mentions something about how he has the rose and he hands it back to her and it doesn't have like she doesn't know what happened to the thorns. So he is like removed the danger, which I feel like is, but again, this is what Tamlin does. He doesn't teach her how to avoid pain. He just does whatever. He just removes.
Yeah, because he's not a parent. Like, right? So it's not, I think it's different.
Well, Reese's not a parent either, but I just think that there's Reese-Ann. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, I just think that there's different types of people, right?
Yeah.
And I think that Tamlin is very much a let me take care of everything. And so you can just be this nice little beautiful thing, which is fine because some people do need that. And I think that she definitely needed it in this book. Or she thought that she needed it in this book. And then there are people who are let me be there for you to support you so that I can help protect you, but you can also protect yourself.
Right, self-sufficient.
Yes.
Yeah, it's skill building.
Yes. And Tamlin's just not that guy. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I just think but that's just who he is. He is just going to be very, like, you be very pretty and don't worry about a little thing. And I think that this is a good representation of that. Like, I want to give you pretty things that aren't going to hurt you. And basically that you can't hurt. And that's fine. And
I think
see it a little differently.
It speaks to like the societal expectations of gender roles.
Yes.
Masculinity versus feminine.
Absolutely.
But I also see it as like he's starting to have different kinds of feelings for her. And it's like, I don't want to see you in pain, like even if it's for a second, even if it's from a thorn on a rose. You know what I mean? So it's like if I could take away that one thing that could cause you even an ounce of pain, I'd want to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I
sure.
think I think it could be a combination of things.
But it's also like by extension, it's a disregard of who she is.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's not letting her embrace that
Yes.
the independent side of her because that's all she knows. You know what I mean? So it's like you're negating that.
Yes, he's already doing that in this book. He's already negating that in this book.
Do you feel like if he had said, "Would you like me to remove the thorns?" and she'd say, "I'd
No,
love that,"
because he's not like that.
It would have been different.
No, because he would not do. I mean, that's just not who he is. I think that if he would have been listening to anything she says ever and realizing that she's bored and paying attention and hey we've talked about how you want to do blah 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 blah, why don't we do that. Tamlin is very Tamlin centered. This is not in a toxic way, so to speak. Right now it's just who Tamlin is. He's very much a prince. He's very prince and everything is about him versus like a king where everything is about their kingdom. So, and I don't know if it's just because the way he's raised. He's mentioned that his dad was awful. He talks about how his dad and his brothers were not good. And he says something about how different his parents were. So I'm wondering, again, we have another bad mating, or like, because Reese's parents were bad mating too. So they all just got bad mates.
Bad batch of mates.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I'm available.
Shit. Yeah.
Come mate this ass.
So, I don't know. So I think that's basically chapter 19, right? She snares him. Oh, that's right. Whenever they're playing around, he hands her the poem. So he found her list of words.
Oh.
And that was again, it's cute because he found her list of words knowing that she wanted to, like, that she was practicing to read. So he's like, let me write poems with like the words. And you're getting cute little glimpses of Tamlin because he says that he used to write dirty limericks in the war, which is funny. But his answer to that is to make a poem to read to her instead of like, let me write a poem to help her learn how to read.
No,
Yes.
Like Rhysand does, right?
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
100%.
No.
Yes.
They're just different guys.
I know, that's my point.
Yeah.
That's literally the only point I'm making.
But I think Tamlin just doesn't, he just needs somebody, like you said, so Feyre needs this kind of experience with Tamlin so that she can learn that it's not what she
Yes, absolutely.
wants.
It's pivotal.
Yes.
Yes.
But for Tamlin, I think
appreciate-
Tamlin needs something too, because Tamlin also doesn't really know not only what he probably wants, but I don't think he really knows what women want either.
No, because he's conditioned to protect and serve.
Yes.
He's not conditioned to empower your individuality.
And he's not a little
respect
risk-taking
your
bad boy like
individuality.
Rhysand is. Rhysand really, as romantic as what Rhysand does, as romantic as that is, it is also kind of like there's some arrogance in there too. I mean,
Absolutely, but he's also more progressive.
yeah, but he's.
I mean, yeah, I agree.
I mean, it's hot either way. I think it's just.
Yeah.
that wouldn't make. I mean, that's why he's morally gray, right?
Right.
Yes. The truth is when I first read this book and I thought, and he wrote her poems, I was like, that's so sweet. And then when I reread it, I'm like, and I think it's just from a different lens. When you're looking at it as a girl, first time in love, your boyfriend does all these sweet things and you're like, oh my gosh, it's so sweet. And then as a woman, you go older and you're like, man, that child was doing nothing to lift me up, right? Was it sweet? Sure. But did it do anything to actually help me? No. And Feyre needs a lot of help. Like, regardless if Rhysand never comes into the picture, she was just in the moment before saying, this makes me think of my old miserable life. Like, she still can't she's still having a hard time marrying what her life was before. And, it's so much trauma. And, but it's cute. And it's what he thinks is the right thing to do. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with what he did. I just think it's just not, it didn't, and we know later, literally doesn't do anything to help her. And if he could have given her so many tools, because he knows what's at the end of the 7 times 7 years, right? Like, he knows what's coming. She doesn't. And she doesn't know, like, no one knows about the trials, right? But he's not doing anything to help her. Like, what is the plan when he goes behind bars? She's just going to be a human living in the...
Yeah, I also think it's a little different because, with her and Reese ultimately being mates later, I just feel like Reese knows her differently without having to really know her yet. And so maybe his intuition is just different. And Tamlin's really giving her what he thinks is the right thing.
He challenges her.
No, for sure.
Intentionally. He's very cognizant of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, I think it's a couple things. Yes, definitely probably the mating bond. And we always hear like Mr. Right and Mr. Right Now.
Yes.
Tamlin's definitely Mr. Right now.
Yeah.
And with the reread, I think it's more obvious. And especially because we're older women. And so we can kind of see like the shallow level of it.
It's true. Like if a boy did that for Bella, I would be like, oh my God, that's sweet. He wrote you a poem. But yes, if I was like half illiterate as a woman, I'd want someone, that's going to do something to teach me how to read so that I can then use that skill later on.
Yeah. Like if I'm fighting with my husband, when we were teenagers, if we were fighting and he brought me flowers, I'd be like, oh, but if we're fighting now, I want Nutter Butter bars and I want
Ain't no fucking way
Kindle. I want Kindle books and we're good on time still.
I'm like, what?
But like the stakes get raised. Like I want a Kindle. I want books. I want, XYZ. Flowers aren't going to cut it, sir.
Yeah, because the idea of romance grows. So I do think with this, I think Tamlin is filling a void that is there from something she didn't get when she was younger. But even though that void is there, she's kind of already ventured into that older girl version of herself mentally. And that's why when Reese comes, she's like already she's already there mentally, right? So like,
no, she's not. She got a lot of healing to do, but eventually.
No. I mean like in terms of like, because she already knows that this isn't what she wants. Because Reese does challenge her differently.
When we get to that, when we are deep diving into that, we'll really go there. But this is, for, like you said, for our teenage daughters, absolutely super sweet.
Yeah. And she is 19.
For our, people who have fully formed brains and do more. That's all. Yeah, totally fine. Totally fine in the context that it exists. And they're laughing and they're having fun and he's telling, more about his family. So they're just kind of like sharing and he ultimately mentions, like Feyre notices that there's like a lot of hustle and bustle going on in the spring court. And she's like, what's going on? We're having a party. And that's where he mentions Fire Night. Or he says Calamai, wondering like, and she's never heard of the word. And then he says, oh, Fire Night? Like, so again, is he expecting her to have heard of Fire Night before out in like with the humans? Or because he says Fire Night with a question mark. Like,
maybe just like myths about it, or
I don't know. Yeah, maybe seeing if she knows anything about it.
But, I mean, because she seems to know so many other things. About
these mysteries
about the Fae. Yeah, like like what else do the humans talk about? Like, oh, they don't talk about Fire Night.
Yeah, one of my favorite parts about this, especially because we know what Fire Night is she says, "How do you create the magic?" And he says, "It's very fairy." Like that's his answer. Like, are you?
That's helpful.
Yeah. Like, what does that mean, Tamlin? Like, you're blushing, and I think. Is it because he's like a prude and he doesn't want to talk about sex? I think he doesn't want her to know that he's about to go bang a maiden.
Shit. Yeah, because it comes back in chapter 20. Yeah. She recalls the moment when he says that the magic is very fairy.
Yeah. But that line is it's very fairy. It's like, what? And
Like, what does that even mean?
what does that even mean? And she's just like, okay. And she's like asking all these questions about it. And it's like you can visibly see him just kind of like
Being awkward.
pulling on his, you know. And,
like, I do not want to have to
and
tell
he's
you
like,
this.
can we talk about anything else, Vera? And, you know, all of those things. And then this also where we get, oh yeah. And then this is where all of a sudden she feels a flare of magic and he pushes her, like he like hides her in the to the side, like behind bushes basically. And it's just like, stay quiet. And then
The adder?
the adder appears.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And this is where it becomes a key moment later in the book, but she can't see him. And she can see Tamlin and Lucian. And the adder's pissed, and we don't know it's the adder yet. We find that out at the very, very end. But this one is fun. This scene is fun because she mentions hearing stuff and she doesn't know what's going on, but she knows that it's important. And I just love anytime we get to see her intelligence. And it's just, but she mentions when the adder leaves, she mentions hearing leather wings.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And so you kind of get an idea of kind of what it looks like. And yeah, so, and I think I'm glad that she didn't know what he looks like, because she has nightmares of him, right? Like
She paints
he's
him.
so scary.
Yeah.
Well, she paints him
yeah.
the next morning or whatever. She paints something that is of, but she says the name.
Yeah, because
Adder.
Lucian says it. Because at the very end, Lucian said, if the adder saw it. And then so that's where she gets the name.
So she knows that it's called an adder.
Yes. And he said, it didn't see her. And he said, are you certain? She said, he says it didn't. And then the spring breeze whispered that I didn't want to know. Because she had no idea what they were talking about. And so, again, the breeze is talking to her. All the magic is in the air. And then once again, they have mentioned the her. And she finds out that like all the dead bodies that have been along the border is because of this her. And they have, the next chapter is 20, and it just goes right into they're at dinner and it's awkward as fuck.
Yeah,
and
nobody's talking.
Nobody wants to talk. And she's just like, I guess I'm not going to talk if they don't want to talk. And, you know, and that's it. And the next day, she just kind of wants to paint. Like she has that overwhelming, like, it's almost like a compulsion.
Yes, and as she paints like the skeletal, tall gray skeletal figure, right, with like an open mouth, wide open mouth, and she says that she can almost like feel it breathing or talking, something like it feels like it's alive.
Yeah,
the painting.
She's doing absolutely anything to avoid going back to the garden because it doesn't no longer feel safe. And she's just painting. She's putting everything into painting, and it's the day of Fire Night, and she's talking about how she constantly hears the drums.
Yes,
and
the drums are calling her.
she's like all I just hear is back in the background the drums, and then she says they come from far away, but they're deep and they're probing and echoed by two responding calls. And then she says summoning. So she's in her castle or whatever with Tamlin, with everyone.
Yeah.
And she wants to be there. Yeah.
Yeah, because she starts to feel that invisible tug.
Yeah, she's literally looking out the window, and she's afraid to go outside. Mm-hmm. And I think it is because of the adder, but I think it's also because
she's like forbidden to go to this party too.
Yeah, but she's not forbidden to go outside.
No, but there's so much going on.
And she says that she says I refuse to go outside. Like she doesn't want to, but she also does want to. And
so aside from that, this like invisible tug, do you think that has anything to do with the fact that Rhysand is there?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I think it's because magic's heightened and he's above, he's not under the mountain. So, and I think that magic always finds a way. And I think that this is what we literally just call like divine intervention or whatever, that so the fate or whatever they want to call it in this says, okay, this is our time. Every chess piece is exactly where it needs to be.
Exactly. Yeah.
So now it's time to go. And I think, because we know that Feyre has a kind of, not an affinity for music, but like music becomes a gateway for her.
Yeah.
And so when
That's Jane too when Bad Bunny comes on.
nice. Let's go. So, but it becomes, some kind of saving grace, some kind of like music seems to be the thing that leads her.
It's intoxicating.
Where she needs, it's very intoxicating for her. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this beat is calling and she's just saying, she says, there was a string tied to my gut that pulled me towards those hills, commanding me to go to hear the fairy drums.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Absolutely
maybe Reese
amazing.
was banging his own drum at that point.
And
That's
so
what she felt.
she's focused on the outward, and then Tamlin comes in without a shirt on, and he's like,
oh yes, he comes out
like distracting her.
Yeah, and she's like, where are you going? Because he has like the bow on.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh,
just
yeah,
the bow and no shirt on. And she's like, where are you going?
Like, excuse me, sir.
He was like, you need to go to your room.
Yeah. And she's talking to him, and she's still like, it's hard for her to pay attention to him. She keeps tugging her head away towards the drums. And he's just like, stay away, go lock up in your room, like,
It's
don't
like
come
one of
out.
those
Yeah.
things, like there's this psychological thing where if somebody tells me not to do something, I'm going to want to do it.
Right.
Yes, I'm never going to put my hand on the stove, but if you're like, okay, no matter what you do all day, don't touch the stove, I'm like, you're not the boss of me.
Yeah. And there's like a moment where he like reaches almost like if they say like he's going to reach for her arm and then he like pulls himself away and is just like, go, like lock the door, don't come out until the morning. And she's like, okay. And makes it to like 10 o'clock at night and that's it.
Yeah, she's just like,
She's
just
like,
kidding.
we're out of here, bitches.
Yeah. And she wanted to ask him, like, she's already asked him to take her. And he's like, no, which again, that's so fucking Tamlin. That's all he does is just tell her no, just stay here, pretty little girl. So, and then he just leaves her and she even says, I did as he commanded. So it was definitely an order, like, and she took it as such. Stay here, be safe, all that stuff.
Which, I mean, I think for this part, I think it's just because he knew what kind of things would be lurking because, you know, with the next part that comes, when she does finally go out, it's the three fairies.
Yeah.
And so there are dangerous things out there.
But knowledge is power too. And I just feel like
Yeah, but she's not a fairy being set out into Fire Night. She's a human that some of these fairies are like thirsty for. Like they want to play with her. And she's not a toy that he's, you know, willing to. Maybe when he first met her and she was just this incompetent little human.
Yeah.
But, you know, there are moments where I think he is just trying to protect her. And yes, some moments it's like, okay. Like,
I think, I mean, he's definitely always, he's definitely always trying to protect her. So she lasts until after dinner. But she didn't eat dinner. She says but she says she calls it the incessant drumming. Like this thing will not shut up and she can't stop staring at the fires. And she says, and then she thinks of Tamlin saying, stay in your chamber. But she says, but a wild, wicked voice weaving in between the drum beats whispers out otherwise, go.
Yeah.
That voice said, tugging at me, go see. Like, that's so Rhysand, right?
So you can't convince me otherwise.
You cannot convince me otherwise. When it says a wild, wicked voice, I was like goosebumps, like, yeah. Please go, girl. Let's go. Let's get this party started.
I'm going to go and
by 10 o'clock.
with you, and I'm going to accept that and embrace it.
And she says by 10 o'clock I could no longer stand it. Yeah, she blasted like
she went in there at 9:45.
That's so funny. And and she's again, she's so funny. It shows how naive she is because she's literally just wearing a hooded cloak. And she's like, I'm hidden.
And she goes out with her white horse. Her white horse, though. Like, no one's going to see your big-ass white mare, and you guys are just strolling through.
And I think she forgets that they can tell she's human.
Well, and she makes a comment about like that she hopes that because there's so many fairies there that it drowns out her human scent. But I'm like, but you're human.
Right, no,
And so
she's
there's not
gonna
enough
stay
of other things going on.
Right.
So, you know, and that, you know, she's hidden behind her hood and blah, 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 because really she's got nothing else on.
Like,
Yeah.
since you're not really blending in.
You know, alongside your big ass white horse.
Yeah, and she thinks she's kind of getting away with it too because she said no one's paying attention to her.
Right.
But she doesn't realize it's because they have bigger things to worry about than like a human. Like they all notice her, but
Right.
And this is where she realizes that there's other fairies without masks.
Yeah, yes, and she starts to wonder, why are people here? Like, if they're not from this court, why are they here?
Yes.
So, which means she must have assumed that Fire Night was only for the Spring Court. And if they're not, you know, and if they are from the Spring Court, where do they live if they don't live there?
Yeah. And so finally 3 strangers, they get her attention, and they're like, oh, we haven't seen one of you for a little bit. And immediately her illusion is shattered and she finally starts to feel fear. So it's like the spell that the drum beats have woven the spell's been broken. And she's like, oh shit. Like,
yeah.
What now? You know, you brought me here now. What now? And of course, you know, they're immediately like fucking bad.
They're like, we're going to play with you.
Yeah,
you know?
Hi, little human. Let's do dastardly deeds to you because, of course, why not? She at least, like, and the thing about Farah is she killed 2 Naga. She had no problem not looking at the bog. She captured the cereal, but she doesn't know what to do faced it with this situation, which is a very real situation, right? Because we know that she's aware of abuse in a sexual nature or of any kind of like domestic nature, because she warned Nesta to not date that guy.
Oh yeah, because the dad was abusive.
Because the dad was abusive, yeah. And so she's very aware of these things, but for whatever reason, this seems out of her scope of reality to be able to protect herself. It's kind of, I don't know, kind of makes her, I feel, more realistic. Because I feel like you're able to kill, I'll slay a dragon for you, but yeah, an angry drunk man, I don't know, maybe I'd be afraid too.
I mean, I almost don't think they let it go far enough to really know what she would have done. Like if they had, it just is like them talking really, and
well, I don't know,
maybe they're like grabbing her. Yeah, but it's kind of like, okay, there's a lot of people around. Like if she had to run away, like she probably could. Will it come to that kind of thing? But it really doesn't get that far before.
Well, she says she knows she can't scream. Well, she says, if I scream, would someone answer? But she says it's probably, she even said, I probably used up all my luck fighting the Naga. Like she's kind of.
Well, we see that a lot with her though, right? Just like accepting her fate.
Yes, yeah.
In those moments.
Yeah, just
She never thinks she's going to survive.
She never thinks she's going to survive. Yes, that's exactly right. And I do kind of wish, now that you said that, I kind of wish I don't want it to go farther, let me be clear, but I would have liked to see what would have happened.
Yeah.
Like how she would have been able to get out of that. Because
or at least have had the 3 fairies try to do something like drag her away or see how she would have defended herself before Reese shows up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she's already trying to stick up for herself. Like, don't touch me.
Do you think her reluctance to really act with these 3 fairies has a lot to do with the fact that she's severely outnumbered with fae who are essentially more powerful than her and who sees humans as weak? And so maybe her understanding could be like, no one's really gonna come and defend me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and with the adder and with the Naga and like the cereal, she has heard about them, right? And so on some level, she's prepared to confront, you know, those things. So she's like, on some level, like, I'm going to fight for my life, right? Whereas this situation, she's not, she's kind of blindsided in a way. I mean, not be fully prepared.
And plus, the last time she killed a fairy, she ended up.
She had
an ash. She had the ash wood. Yeah,
exactly.
So
also at the spring court again. Now she's been here for months, and she's been relatively safe with every fairy she's come across in the spring court. So it's another case of she just forgot. I think she genuinely just forgot to be on her guard. Yeah. And with the other things, when she's going to the forest, hunting the cereal or whatever, she's always on guard because she's waiting for something to happen. And here, I think, especially because she's still in the spring court, like, she hasn't had to be on guard. And a couple of those things are just, and then there's 3, she can see it in their eyes that they're up to no good. And they even say something like, we'll have fun with her. Or,
we'll have fun with her right after.
Yeah. Like, so she's very aware, but at the same time, she's still trying to figure out a way to get out of it. And she's telling them no and stop it. And one of them shoves her, and she says she falls out of their grasp. And then the ground welled up beneath me. And I reached for my knives, but sturdy hands grasped me under the shoulders before I could draw them or hit the grass.
Yeah, they fucking did.
Yeah, they did. And she says they're warm, strong hands, warm and broad.
I'm feral.
Warm and broad.
I'm feral and fertile. I don't want to be fertile.
Yeah. Warm and broad. Okay. Not at all like the prodding, bony fingers of the 3 fairies who went utterly still as whoever caught me gently set me upright. There you are. I've been looking for you. There you are. I've been looking for you. And she says a deep, sensual male voice I'd never heard before. There you are. I've been looking for you. Friggin' finally we made it, y'all. And oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. So
that's the sound the universe made, I think.
Yes,
when
but
Reese showed up.
For real though. Ding dong.
Hi, baby. You want to come up?
All right, so there you are.
Okay, so there you are. I've been looking for you. And then she notices that the fairies are like still, like they're afraid, but she refuses to look away from them because for whatever reason she has decided that the threat in front of her is worse than the threat behind her. Yeah. So she's not seen who's touched her, who said anything, and she's like, yeah, he can have my back. Like she's just made up her mind.
Yeah, but it's almost like this subconscious trust is just like given to whatever's behind her.
Like who? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And she says that their faces paled, so like they're even paler than they were.
So they're pretty much like hip to what is in front of them. Like shit, homeboys here.
Yes. Yeah. And he says, and the voice behind her says, "Thank you for finding her for me." And then she calls him her savior. Again, she doesn't even know what is happening. She has no clue. It could literally be the adder or another, you know what I mean? Like, girl, I can't with her. She's so funny. My savior said to them, smooth and polished. So then she says, I stepped out of the shelter of my savior's arms and turned to thank him. Standing before me was the most beautiful man I've ever seen. Yeah. We made it! Oh my God.
I just slapped my mic.
So
Trying to check for my heartbeat. Listen, if you guys hear any like obnoxious, I think it's not me, it's Dash.
Okay.
Any panting, it's not me, it's Dash.
Dash, we're gonna need you to be quiet.
Which, yeah. So the next episode we'll have to compare. Now we know exactly how she describes the first time she meets Reese. So we'll have to go back the first time she meets Tamlin, because they're both scary situations. Like she's both in dire situations, and it is 2 very different.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like experiences. Here for it. We made it to Fire Night, y'all. Hallelujah. And that is our time. So until next time, and maybe we'll have it together. Probably not, but
Don't count on it.
yeah. See y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.